Hello and welcome to another edition of Full Throttle. This one was put on by me, of course, and we have Matt from Gear 1 Race Team. How you doing, Matt?
I'm good. How about you today, Justin?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
first tell me what Gear 1 Race Team is and what 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 you think your race team is different from any other race team.
Gear 1 Racing is relatively new. The team itself is new. And I have a long history in racing, clear back from the 70s, building chassis as a family to maintaining cars, housing cars, anything and above. I ran my own race series. And so what it's different is just a long history of what I have in the sport. So we started Gear 1 Racing to compete in the Pro Late Model Series on the West Coast with RJ Smotherman and to start a NASCAR ARCA Menards team.
So, is this the first year of Gear 1 racing? Because I found you guys pretty easy on Facebook.
Yes, it's the first year for Gear 1 Racing. Yes.
All right. So, are you like, what does it take? You're building this team from the ground up, if I'm not correct. So, what's been the hardest thing for a new race team to get off the ground?
Patience. Patience is the number one thing because everybody wants to start something and they want to go right to the top. Um, and unless you have a lot of money, things take time. And even if you have a lot of money, they still take time. But just being in the business as long as I have, um, I kind of know the process of what it's going to take. And that means I have to have a good driver, we have to have a good team, and we have to perform. And even if it's on a smaller level, it's building our foundation. And that foundation is just that it's the team and performing.
So, tell me, what made you decide to start Gear 1 racing? Is it your passion for racing, or what made Matt decide to start Gear 1 racing? Because you seem like you're the owner, if I'm saying
Yes, I
that
am.
correct.
Yes. Um, yeah, of course, it's a long time passion to own my own team. Yes, um, but just from building cars my whole life with my family to running a race series and doing different things, I think was just the next step in my life. Um, I have we have the knowledge. It's just putting the pieces in place to um, make it work and getting the name out there, letting it be seen, showing what we can do, and that's the first stages of it. We're not a big funded team by any means, so we don't get to just go out and buy everything we need and say here we are. We have to
No,
build it from the ground up.
I agree. I built this from the ground up. Profile's been really special to me. Uh, uh, um, but I mean, talk to me about what you're looking for in a driver and what what your goals are for the team. what's going to be a successful 2025 for Gear 1 race team. Um, After the season is over, when you look
Well,
back at the season, what's going to stick out to you the most, Matt?
a lot of people have passion. A lot of drivers, I should say, have they have the passion for it, but they have to have the fire for it, and that fire means that everything they think of, everything they do, that's all they want to do. They they're not worrying about going out partying and going out and doing this um, and different things. That's all they want to do is win races. And we've had over the years some of your biggest names in NASCAR have started with us, as a family, um, and I've worked with a lot of different drivers. And the ones that are willing to get in, work on the car, they are willing to listen um, to what we feel they need to um, do as a driver, how they portray themselves to the fans, and they drive the car to where they want to bring it home in one piece, not a kid with a big paycheck that just doesn't care and will tear the car up. I don't want that. I don't want somebody that's going to go out there and tear race cars up. So I found this on this time with R.J. Smotherman. He's a young man. He works very hard. It's been his life passion, and he works on the race car. He takes his own money and tries to put in, to make things work. And at the end of every night, that car comes home and doesn't have a scratch on it. So every driver has their things, but that's just what I look for. I want somebody with fire. I want somebody that can put every bit of themselves into it.
So, Matt, so what would you say to a person that wants to one day own a team? Um, how What's the first step in your opinion for a person that wants to own a team? I don't care if you want to drive, but what's the first step? What should they be looking for in a good driver and stuff, in your opinion?
When you're looking to start your own team, um, if you have the means to do it, put a good team together. Listen to that those team members. A team owner that has the funding to start his own team needs to listen to the people that have been in the business to build the race team the way it should be, not um, not just take things upon themselves and say, I know how to do this. It's it's a in every a race team's a business in itself, and if you have to know how to run that race team as a race team, what it's going to take week in, week out to do this, the right tools, the right people. Um, and if you're starting off kind of like we are, we have the knowledge, we just don't have the funding. So we're taking that knowledge and like starting off with RJ here, where we've had the fastest car at the track almost every race. We've won 3 races already, and we're tied for the points. So we're a very underfunded team against other teams that are well funded, and they have very good drivers. This is where we stand out. Um, but like I said, for people to start a team is just you got to go through the processes. And through all the years I've been in racing, we see people come in with a lot of money and they throw money at it and they buy all this stuff. And in 5, 7 years, they're gone because all they've done is thrown their money at it instead of realizing they need to build. You know, that's why people like McAnally on the West Coast. I mean, he started off with nothing, and he is now a 3 time or 4 team truck team owner because he allowed himself to build and learn and has become very successful at it. David Gillen the same way. He started off actually driving our cars when he was out here. But look at David Gillen now. He's the biggest truck team owner, um, one of the most respected men in the industry. But he allowed himself to grow. He did all the right moves and did all the right things. So those people, you got people should model themselves off of where they started and how they got there. So that's really my advice to give any team owner is to see where these people and that's just two of many. And that means they just started with something and built on it. And if you're somebody like us that doesn't have the funding, you have to build it a different way. And that's get yourself seen, get yourself known, get, I may have been in the business now for 40 years, but Gear 1's new and Gear 1 has to establish its name. Gear 1 has to gain the respect of our competitors and the people in business. And that's going to take time. And that's where that word, first thing you asked me, patience comes in. You have to have patience to build anything good. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Um, that's why I do it so for teams like you guys to get known and to get your name out there. Um, so just talk to me about real quick, if you would, talk to me about when you were selecting your first driver for the Arca Mirage series, uh, the NASCAR series. Um, was it easy to make your decision, or did you talk to a lot of drivers and meet with a lot of different personalities before you settled on who you settled on?
Honestly, this time around, it was a very simple decision because I have known RJ for a lot of years. Excuse me. I have worked with RJ in the past, and I knew RJ was somebody that I can win races with. I knew he was someone that I can bring up um, in a way to where he's going to, hopefully be, you know, seen by a lot of people and be able to take the next steps in his career. You know, I can't I can't look at RJ as going to be my staple forever, but he is definitely somebody that I know can take the steps, further ahead if somebody sees him and do them good. He represents things good. So he was an easy choice. Um, so I can't say that I've talked to a bunch of other people. I haven't for Gear 1. No.
Okay. So, talk to me about RJ. How far back do you guys go? And obviously, you believe in him so much, otherwise, you wouldn't have chosen for Gear 1. So, what do you believe in him about? And what is his role been so far in Gear 1? What's been the most intriguing, intriguing uh situation you guys have been in, and how has he responded to that?
what I've known RJ for since he was probably 5 years old, driving Bandoleros. I've watched him move up, through all the ranks, driving the Bandoleros to driving dirt cars with his dad. Um, he even drove skid plate cars. See, when they didn't have anything, RJ drove a skid plate car, because he wanted to race. Some guys, young men, would say, "Oh, that's beneath me." Well, it wasn't beneath him. He wanted to race. That's the fire in him. He wanted to race. He didn't care what it was. Um, I worked with him in our previous shop before, and he ran a couple ARCA races with me as his crew chief. And he worked hard on the cars. He's knowledgeable of working on the cars, but that knowledge, he's also willing to listen and learn. Um, we've had other drivers, young men, that don't want to work on the car. Well, if you're not working on the car, you don't understand the car. You don't understand what it takes. You don't have respect for it. And, RJ has respect for it because of his not having, the money like a lot of other kids do. So he comes to the shop with me. He works on the cars. I tell him this is what we're doing. Um, I brought my dad on board, and he listens to my dad about different chassis things. So he's learning uh, on the racetrack. It's he's great to work with. It's just I'll tell I tell him things. Let's do this. Let's try that. And he does it, and gives great feedback. Uh, he races all of his competitors very clean. Like I said, we've ran I think 10 races so far this year, and we've never replaced a body panel, never scratched a body panel. So he's gained a lot of respect from his competitors, along with being we're one of the top two teams here in Las Vegas. So I made a great choice with him, but that choice came from our history together and watching him grow up. Um, we have, if we can make the next Portland race, we're going to have Boris Said drive it. Boris Said's a good friend of mine, and RJ wants to learn from them. He's going to be there. He'll work with the car, and allows him to learn. And that's what you need from a driver. Not is someone that's, I don't care how long you've been doing it, is willing to learn, willing to listen, not have a big head and say, I don't need to listen to them. I know what I'm doing. The driver tells me that I don't need them.
Yeah,
So I hope that answers the question about RJ. I mean, I'm very proud of him and very happy that he is with Gear 1.
yeah, it does. Um, and so what do you think is going to be a successful year for Gear 1? Like, what do you want to accomplish?
Um, the ultimate goal would be to win the championship out here in Las Vegas. Um, for a first year team, for an underfunded team, that's that would be a big thing. Um, and we take one race at a time. If we don't do good, we go back and fix it, and we come back to do good. Um, we've been in contention to win every race, um, and it's going to take. There's 3 more nights, 5 more races, and all we can do is go give it our best shot. And our best shot is to go there with the car prepared correctly, with the mindset that um, we want to win, but we accept whatever comes about.
All right.
So
Well,
that's the goal. And we're working on sponsors for the ARCA team that maybe we can race Portland, like I said, with Boris said, we can race Vegas. I'll have RJ in the car at Vegas if it can come about. and Phoenix. Um, we don't know yet, but I'm working on sponsorships for that and sponsorships for 2026.
All right. Well, I I appreciate you taking the time to come come on Full Throttle and tell the story of how Gear 1 got going this year, and it's been a great honor to meet with you, Matt. And this has been Full Throttle with JP and Matt Gassick of Gear 1.
Well,
Goodbye,
I
everyone.
appreciate it.